Good day, friends, and welcome once again to Voice of the Colonies. I am Mercy Otis Warren, bringing you the latest reports from this restless first week of November, 1775. Brought to you by...
Feeling the weight of rebellion? Hug a goat. Our emotional support goats are trained to cuddle during cannon fire, eat incriminating documents, stare judgmentally at loyalists. Each comes with its own liberty-themed bonnet. No barn? No problem. The goat can also double as a heated pillow. Emotional support goats. Because war is stressful and cows are judgy.
In the north, our fortunes rise swiftly. Fort St. John's, which surrendered at month's end, has opened the road to Montreal. General Richard Montgomery wastes no time pressing onward. By early November, the heavy cannon captured at Fort Chambly are rolling north through the mire, and Canadian towns, weary of British officers and their taxes, now meet our soldiers with open doors. Loyalists still grumble, yes, but many inhabitants cheer our banners. For the first time, Canada does not seem like a far frontier, but a friend in waiting. And from the wilderness comes a story that defies belief. Benedict Arnold's starving column, the same that vanished into Maine's swamps weeks ago, has emerged, skeletal but alive. Of the 1,100 who set out, barely 600 remain. They staggered into Canada along the river, hollowed-eyed and frostbitten, yet still bearing their arms. Local villagers, astonished, shared bread and blankets with the survivors. Arnold himself, worn but unbowed, rallies what men he has left to march on Quebec. What began as a march has become a legend of endurance. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, Congress is sharpening its quills, and some purpose. Congress moves to create a committee of secret correspondence, with Benjamin Franklin taking the task with zeal. Letters fly across the Atlantic disguised in merchant ships, seeking quiet sympathy from France and Spain. What was whispered as hope has become deliberate diplomacy. If Britain imagines us isolated, she may soon discover otherwise. Washington's troubles, however, cannot be hidden. On November 4th, Congress resolved to enlarge the Continental Army for the coming year, answering his plea for men who will stay beyond December. He warns that no army can fight by the calendar. Still, money and clothing remain scarce, and officers fret over morale. The British blockade tightens, and supplies crawl slower than winter. In Boston, the suffering deepens for both sides. Refugees continue to flee the city, while within the British lines, hunger gnaws and sickness spreads. Fuel grows so rare that even loyalists burn furniture for warmth. A Patriot newspaper sneered that Boston has become the jail of the King's Army. It is a siege without glory. Soldiers frozen in place, and citizens prisoners of their own loyalty. We'll be back after this.
Having serious thoughts about rebellion? Missing the quiet dignity of a fully taxed afternoon tea? Return to the Crown, where every sip is supervised and every shipment highly profitable. For us. No need for messy protests or harbor-drenched leaves. Just pay your tax and be grateful. So, sit back, sip your taxed tea, and remember, thinking is treasonous. This message approved by the East India Company and His Majesty's Tea Task Force.
Welcome back. To the south, Virginia now feels the war's first sparks. Governor Lord Dunmore, concerned and furious, sails his small fleet along the coast, seizing livestock, raiding plantations, and threatening to arm enslaved men against their masters. Militia muster by the hundreds in reply. While New England fights for independence, Virginia now fights for its safety. Along the frontiers, new fears grow. British agents continue to court the Iroquois and other tribes, promising gold and favor for attacks on our settlements. Congress debates how to respond: diplomacy or preemption. Families from Pennsylvania to New York load wagons and move eastward, not wanting to find out which side the warriors will choose. The struggle for liberty, it seems, extends from the seacoast to the shadowed forests. And still another battle is creeping larger: smallpox. Rumors have now spread from the northern forts and Arnold's ranks alike. Some say the disease has already reached Montreal. Commanders fear that one infected soldier could undo entire campaigns. The pox, silent and unseen, marches in every direction at once. Across the Atlantic, London grinds an argument. Parliament weighs new troops for 1776, but merchants groan beneath the loss of trade. The boycott of American goods bites deep. Even the king's shopkeepers curse the war. So much for loyalty when profit takes ill. So here we stand, the first week of November. Montgomery advancing through a thawing Canada. Arnold risen from the wilderness like a ghost. Congress whispering to Europe, Washington pleading for performance, Virginia burning with revolt, the frontier trembling. This, my friends, is what it looks like for a nation being born amid mud, fear, and faith. And stay with me, for every week we'll reveal more pieces of this unfolding design. And if you'd like to hear these tales of courage and frost and fire, subscribe to my channel below, and please return again.